YouTube, how's it going? The Godows is back, going over every single team's secret weapon to watch for 2023. In my opinion, did the same video for, in my opinion, best players in each team and breakout players for each team. So check those out. A lot of those types of videos, plus more predictions, rankings, in-season content. Cannot wait for that. It's always fantastic time with you guys. And, yeah, you can join us. Like, subscribe, to notifications on. Follow us on Twitter. A lot going on there, especially with that roster deadline day coming. A lot of news, rumors. So check that out. Links pinned in the comments for that. All of our social media, our sponsor, Liquid IV, code GOAT, 20% off GLD shop with the jewelry. 33% off, actually. A whopping 33% off, code GOAT. Going through every team, starting with AFC East teams. Terrell Bernard, linebacker from Baylor a year ago. It was a rookie a year ago, second year for the Buffalo Bills linebacker that could be stepping up for Tremaine Edmonds. So a guy to watch. I think they'll get the most out of whoever plays at that position. Bernard, play style and body type is more like a safety, but a linebacker, and that's kind of that style that's taking over today. Maybe started taking over like 5 years ago. So that's a guy that they feel pretty good about. We saw them let Edmonds walk as well. So there's definitely kind of an under-the-radar guy that could be a weapon for them on the defensive side, obviously. For the Jets, I'm going to go with Michael Clemens. I thought he looked pretty solid last year. He's one of the rookies. Obviously him and the higher-profile guy, Jermaine Johnson. I thought Clemens maybe his reps looked a little bit better than Jermaine Johnson. Doesn't mean that he's better for good or anything like that, but looked legit last year. So that's a guy to watch in that rotation. They got a good mixture of speed pass rushers, and they got like a more of a powerful one here with Michael Clemens. So that's a guy to watch, that Jets defense, which I think that edge group's really going to be about the rotation. It's not going to be about one guy. It's about that rotation there on that defense. For the Dolphins, I'm going to go Braxton Berrios. They brought him in. He was on the Jets last year, obviously. Looked, in week 2 of preseason, looked kind of key in the first couple drives for the Dolphins starters, and it could be a guy that fits Mike McDaniel's offense, just a guy that just gets open. Maybe something they thought, different style player, but something they thought they would get from Cedric Wilson when they signed him a year ago. They bring in Berrios for much cheaper. I think he's going to get more action than people think. So kind of that secret option there, under the radar option on offense. And for the Patriots, I'm going to go with a rookie. There's a lot of rookies in this video here. Keon White, coming out, he was kind of somewhat of a big name prospect, but kind of a tweener. Like, where do you play him? I think the Patriots are a perfect spot. They can move guys around a bit, that multiple defense, different types of looks, and he's already looked really good in training camp preseason. So that's a guy to watch out for that really fits very well in Bill Belichick's defense. A guy that can take off right away. So on to NFC East teams. Another rookie, you're going to go Deuce Vaughn. Obviously, he has a shot to be that RB2. Looks pretty good in training camp preseason, so he will get his reps. Tony Pollard's not going to get all the reps, so the day 3 rookie from Kansas State could be a factor for the Dallas Cowboys. Sidney Brown of the Eagles, their draft pick out of Illinois at the safety position. The Eagles, on paper, kind of on the weaker side at the safety position, so Sidney Brown has an opportunity. I mean, those jobs are kind of up for grabs. So that he can come in there and take that spot. And, you like his athleticism, his range, versatility too, playing high or low. So that's a guy to watch out for the Eagles. For the Giants, looks like they got a steal at Trey Hawkins in the later, 6th round out of Old Dominion, the cornerback. So that they'll have an opportunity. He'll have an opportunity to get on the field because there's a little bit of a corner battle going on there. But he's been, hearing really good things at a training camp. So not the biggest name here, so actually can make, some waves early on. For the Commanders, going Cole Turner. Logan Thomas is his, job saved. Maybe not. Could get let go. That's a possibility as well. Hasn't been at the time of recording this video. Cole Turner, that last preseason game looked pretty active, pretty good. Seems like a legit target at the tight end position for Sam Howell. So, younger option here that's a good athletic threat down the field. It's a guy to watch. Not a big name at all. Smaller name to watch out for. For the Bengals, go Zack Carter. Was a rookie a year ago. I love that pick out of Florida. A guy that can move around the D-line a little bit. A lot of upside, can stop the run. And his upside getting after the quarterback as well. So kind of get him getting mixed in, maybe rotation with that B.J. Hill spot there. But again, a guy who kind of can move around a bit. So I'll go with Carter for the Bengals. For the Ravens, go Isaiah Likely. We know those tight ends will be active, especially Mark Andrews. But Thought about Charlie Kolar because he looked pretty good in that second preseason game as well. But likely just that weapon that you can move around. I mean, even in college, we saw him kind of deploy from the backfield even. So, I mean, they can get really creative in this new Todd Monken offense and could likely be an option for the Ravens. For the Browns, I go Jerome Ford, which is a tough one because he is currently injured and could likely miss week 1. But they have high hopes for him. They've liked what they've seen from him. They like him enough for him to be their RB2. So, we saw Kareem Hunt, Dearness Johnson. These guys get carries in the past, not just Nick Chubb. So, him and Felton, guys to watch to get some, bonus carries this year. For the Steelers, actually, a lot of the guys in this list are, rookies or year 2, maybe year 3 guys. But here's a veteran, maybe a longtime veteran here, Marcus Golden for the Steelers. The Steelers love using 3 edge rushers. They like getting the most out of 3 edge rushers on their team. They always want to have 3 solid ones. We know they have the obvious ones, TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. But the next one in line is Marcus Golden, who's been pretty productive throughout his career. So I would imagine he continues, even though he's number 3, I imagine he continues to play and continues to be productive. So everyone's thinking about Watt and Highsmith. Don't forget about Golden, so a little bit of an under radar guy here for a veteran on the Steelers. The Vikings going to go undrafted rookie Ivan Pace Jr., who has a chance to start year 1. Was fantastic in Cincinnati. Was just a little undersized and specifically needed a blitz scheme. And he's there. He's in one. Brian Flores' scheme in Minnesota should be fantastic for him. So he's going to blitz a lot. Even if he doesn't start right away, we'll see him on the field, but hearing very, very good things. So that's kind of the definition of a secret weapon, on defense, blowing up plays, blitzing, blowing up plays, getting the quarterback. So we'll see how the undrafted rookie does in year 1. For the Lions, Josh Pashaw is probably one of my favorite ones on the list here. Was a big Pashaw guy out of Kentucky a year ago, so second-year guy here. Is more of an edge rusher that also played inside for Kentucky. Now at the Lions, I think he's going to be more of an interior guy that can also play outside, and I love that. Love the versatility. He's fantastic stopping a run. We knew that out of Kentucky. He was so good stopping a run. High motor guy. And he has upside getting after the quarterback, and hearing good things about him. You're at training camp for the Detroit Lions, so I'm one of the guys I'm more excited about in the league this year. So can't wait to watch him. One to watch. For the Packers, going to go at rookie Luke Musgrave. Hearing really good things from him at training camp. Long receiving type tight end. They're going to scheme plays up for him. They're going to throw jump balls to him. So we're going to see a lot of Luke Musgrave. He could even be their leading receiver. I think it's a possibility. I think I got some decent young receivers there, but I'd watch out for him getting more action than you think. For the Bears, another rookie, Tyreek Stevenson. Great things about him, training camp and preseason guy, a high motor corner that likes to attack the ball underneath. I think really good for that, for Eberflus's defense, which is he wants tough guys, physical, technically sound, specifically good in cover 2 that can press. All of that I just said sounds like Tyreek Stevenson, so I'd expect him to get on the field early. I think we can see him start week 1, really. So it's a guy that can, make some noise right away for the Bears. Really good fit there in Chicago for the Miami rookie. Tank Bigsby for the Jags. Had a really good career in Auburn, but you think, they got Travis Etienne there, so is Bigsby going to be much? He's going to get a good amount of carries. Etienne, fantastic running back. He's going to get even better. Definitely a weapon. His game is more, everywhere, but his game is more so outside runs and then catching the ball at the backfield, downfield. They need somebody that can, take some of that load on the inside, and I think Bigsby will be able to handle that, and he can handle more as well. But he'll be getting more carries than you think, so watch out for the Auburn rookie. For the Titans, another running back, TaiJ Spears. You think, they got Derrick Henry. We're used to, the other running backs, except the year they had Deontay Foreman. But we're used to, for the most part, Henry just getting all the carries. You don't really hear about much of the other running backs from the Titans. But I'd watch out for TaiJ Spears because he's electrifying, very solid, coming off that big-time year in Tulane. Looked really good in that Week 2 preseason game. But he can catch the ball extremely well out of the backfield, downfield. So the Titans will use him a bit more than you think. Texans going to go Tank Dell. Been hearing a lot about him, but you think maybe some of the veteran receivers are more likely to be their guy. But I watch out for Tank Dell. Possibly could lead them in receiving out of the receivers this year. So it looks like Stroud's a pretty big fan of him. So he'll get his separation, he'll get open, and he's good after the catch as well. For the Colts, going to go Josh Downs, on a receiver that I really like. rookie receiver that I really like this year. I mean, the Colts got Michael Pittman. They got Alec Pierce. I mean, these big body, contested catch, possession-like receivers. What they kind of been lacking is that speedster. They can get open early anywhere on the field. Specifically, that can play from the slot, and then all of the above is Josh Downs. So exactly what the Colts needed. Anthony Richardson, with this quick and play style and his arm strength down the field, I think Josh Downs really fits Anthony Richardson ball. So I think he could be productive right away, and there's a steal for the Colts. For the Saints, go Rasheed Shahed, who kind of stood out of nowhere last year at times, and they like him a lot, so he can kind of continue to keep going. Just, kind of was a no-name guy last year when he was making plays. So, another guy to kind of complement Chris Olave there, and now has a better quarterback in Derek Carr. So, for the Falcons, go Janu Smith, which I think is a good one for this video, because Janu Smith, people are kind of forgetting about. They're kind of thinking, he was good in Tennessee. That was a complete bust of a signing for the Patriots. He was pretty much non-existent. So people are forgetting about him. People aren't thinking much of him. But, kind of going back to him being in how good he was in Tennessee. Well, Arthur Smith was the offensive coordinator in Tennessee. He's the head coach of the Falcons. It's his offense. He traded for Janu Smith for a reason. They can use him and Kyle Pitts. They can use both at the same time. They will do that. Janu Smith's another one of those guys that you kind of can deploy from the backfield if you want as well. Get creative, some gadget plays for him. So I think he'll be kind of back to normal there, like the Tennessee Titans Janu Smith. I fully believe that. So he's going to be better than people think. People are kind of giving up on him. They shouldn't. The Panthers go to rookie Jonathan Mingo. I mean, definition of a secret weapon. This is a guy that was a wide receiver at Ole Miss, but he might have been used more, as a blocker. They put him on, at a wing position, tight end, in the backfield, and have him block, kind of get creative with him. When they used him as a receiver in the slot or outside, he did some damage. He obviously has the size, the super strong hands, contested catchability, and the speed. So just about using him more and more, but they're going to, Frank Reich in that offense, they're going to use him in multiple different ways. So to me, it's like a definition of like a rookie secret weapon here. For the Bucks, we'll go Yaya Diabi, another rookie. A lot of rookies, because they're kind of under the radar. People aren't expecting much from the non-first rounders here. But Diabi I liked a lot out of Louisville. He can rush from outside the tackle, over the tackle, inside the tackle. We saw that, a good mixture of all that in Louisville. And the Bucks like that, having guys that you can move around a little bit. But I mainly like him off the edge at the next level in the NFL. And the Bucks, will get the most out of him there in year one. Like I think by the end of the year, right now it's up in the air on who like the next best edge rusher after Shaq Barrett is on the Bucks. But I'm gonna actually predict at the end of the year, I think we'll be saying it's Yaya Diabi. I think they'll be saying he's better than Joe Tryon, Shoyinka, Anthony Nelson, guys like that. So that's definitely one of my favorite ones in this list too. Because you get creative with him, and he's gonna be better than people think. Wasn't a huge name in the draft. I think it was a really good pick. Chiefs gonna go Deneric Prince. Been hearing good things about him at training camp. The Chiefs always find those under the radar running backs, get the most out of them. They're constantly switching who's getting the most carries. I really think it's got to be Pacheco this year, but they're going to use a committee. They're going to use a big group of backs here, and they like him a lot. Good combination of physicality and open field speed here. He runs a little tall sometimes, but maybe why he didn't get drafted. But that's a guy I'm hearing really good things about, and a guy to watch for sure. Tuli Pelotu for the Chargers. Really good preseason game last week. I think he's kind of a pro-ready guy at the same time of being kind of young. He just doesn't really have the measurables. That's really the only issue, and he kind of changed his weight a little bit. So that was kind of the scary part of teams maybe passing on him. But he's very, very productive. And again, I think he's pretty pro-ready. He's gonna he doesn't have the measurables, but he's going to go out there and get after the quarterback. And then playing, behind Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack is fantastic learning experience. You kind of can feed off those guys as well. And sometimes they'll actually use a third pass rush at the same time as the other guys, because they can actually line Joey Bosa more of a 3-4 like player over the tackle, inside the tackle. So that can open things up for a guy like Tuli Pelotu here in year one. Marvin Mims, the Broncos drafted him maybe earlier than some people expected. He was a top 10 receiver for me. I like his tape a lot. Really good downfield, really good at getting separation. Very underrated in terms of contested catch, but high pointing the ball, tracking the ball correctly. That's where he's underrated. So they liked him a lot, and they have some injuries at the receiver position, so he will actually get his action right away. So it's kind of a sneaky one there for the Broncos. Raiders going to go Zamir White. Josh Jacobs supposed to report. They're not going to trade him. He's the leading rusher last year. He's their guy, but they might be realizing we might not be able to sign this guy in the future, and they kind of might be going to give some more carries to a guy that they want to see, if he could be the guy of the future, and that is Zamir White, a second-year player from Georgia. So I'm expecting people thought he would get more carries last year. I didn't really see it yet. I think he's going to get more carries this year. They might kind of give him a little bit of a trial. Like, can he be the guy? So he can be an option for him kind of secretly here. For the 49ers, I'm going to go Samuel Womack. He stood out in preseason last year. Like, he looked really good. And I think we'll see more of him this year. I think we'll see a good rotation with the 49ers corners, minus Travarius Ward's going to lock down his spot. But, Lenore's pretty solid. Womack can play inside, outside. I think we'll see a bit more of him. I think he's got some upside. I think so. It's kind of a really under the radar type player here that, not a big name at all. It's hard to go offensive lineman for secret weapons because our offense lineman weapons. So I didn't really do that. But I actually thought about Colton McKivitz on here because I think he's going to be good. I hear good things. I think he's going to be good. Nobody really knows that name. People think they lost McGlinchey. They're screwed at right tackle. They could actually be better. Maybe it's a little bold. So there's a bonus one for the 49ers, even though it's not really a weapon. He's an offensive lineman. But I guess if you talk about Trent Williams, we're not going to sit here and say he's going to be good as Trent Williams, but I guess you consider Trent Williams as good as he is a weapon, even though he's an offensive lineman. Seahawks should go Colby Parkinson. Seahawks got a few good tight ends. You got a third one here who's got that size, got that high point ability, the strong hands. I think he's very solid in the red zone. I think we could see more of him in the red zone. I think, looking at the Noah Fant mainly, but, more in the open field or before the red zone, I think we'll see a little bit more of him. And I just said red zone a million times, but I'm going to say it again. A little bit more of that from Parkinson this year. So we will see. Not a big name tight end. He's a little bit down the depth chart, but I think he'll play. Rams going to go Zach Evans, rookie running back from Ole Miss. I think they got a steal where they got him, like an explosive runner. And the Rams have Cam Akers, Kyron Williams. It's a little bit open, there for split carries or maybe being the guy. Like, I don't, if Zach Evans plays like the potential that he has, he was a top recruit. He played great at TCU, played great when he's on the field at Ole Miss. Just got to stay healthy. Does have to catch the ball a little bit better. That was kind of the knock on him, durability and then catching the ball better. But if he goes out there and does what he does, on the ground, like with his explosive runs, a home run ability, like they're going to play him more and more, and he can be the flashiest running back on that roster. Which I don't think is that difficult to do. And then one more is the Cardinals. They're going to go Trey McBride, who they drafted last year. It was a little bit surprising. Like, did they need that? Pretty good tight end from Colorado State. He was a monster at Colorado State, 2 seasons ago because he was a rookie last season with the Arizona Cardinals. But, Zach Ertz, going to be back. Could he be a potential trade candidate? I guess that's a different debate. But I think either way, year 2, McBride is going to get more touches. And you look at the new offense they're trying to run, West Coast, you're going to see a lot more 12 personnel, which means more tight ends. A lot of play action. Play action means dumping the ball off to the tight end a bit. Delayed release, getting them out in space. McBride's a guy that can get out in space. It's a guy that's very tough after the catch as well. So it's a guy that, because we didn't hear much at all from him in year 1, maybe people are forgetting about, but he can be pretty solid here in year 2 for the Arizona Cardinals. So those are kind of my secret weapons / under the radar, / smaller names that might be bigger names in year 1 or this year than you think. So we did talk about a lot of rookies. It's always fun talking about rookies. We have a recent rookie. We highlighted some of the rookies in training camp preseason, which ones are impressing the most. We have all kinds of interesting videos getting ready for the season on the channel, more to come, and then in-season content right around the corner. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn notifications on, join us for all that. Very, very important to follow our Twitter. Links pinned in the comments for anything important, social media, sponsors, things like that, recent videos. So check it out. It's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.